facts and preach with profit vision. Eyes wouldn't get too fast. I'm serving up true facts, but these folks swallow fiction. Yeah. So I was about to give up, but God said, wait. Make peace with a struggle, make war with your bubble. Come on. It's you versus you in the octagon. Don't tap face down, I'm the mad legs trap. Better find a way to get on up. All eyes on you. So what's your next move, son? You better get up, get up, get up. This is the get up, get up, get up. Make moves even when the fleece don't wet up. This is the get up, get up, get up. Break through even if the heat don't let up. This is the get up, get up, get up. This is the get up, get up, get up. This is the get up, get up, get up. Now everybody, fight the power. Fight the power that feeds the pack that attacks the hour and cannibalizes belief. Boy, you a beast. God didn't give no misdirection, so have a little faith in that reflection. Be ready to get tested. All that time and energy invested will only pay off if you stay consistent. First off, the stakes is elevated. If I catch you hesitating, I'll be screaming at you. Rappers prematurely celebrating, getting local accolades and acting like they made it, but the empress looking hella naked. You just need a the pressure to be genius is holding you down, but you've been that. So get up, get up, get up. This is the get up, get up, get up. Make moves even when the fleece don't wet up. This is the get up, get up, get up.
Okay, sorry guys, sorry. I got distracted there. Oh my goodness.
This is the get up, get up, get up. This is the get up, get up, get up.
It's a good jam though, anyway. And this was when I went up to Boston, you know, and met some people in the Karen Reed movement. These two right here are great. And I believe they were part of the Canton Nine who were arrested for protesting. Not even protesting. They were just standing there with a sign that said like freedom or something. But because it was within eyeshot of Chris Albert, who's Mr. Sensitive, you know, Mr. Sensitive over there. It's just a whole long story. But anyway, let me get them off the screen. Okay. So looks like Jennifer Henry left a message earlier. Hello. If you're here, thanks for being here. And I am a longtime watcher of That's the Prize Witness. If you're not familiar with her, you are missing out. She's amazing. She's very highly intelligent. She graduated from one of the best law schools in the world, University of Pennsylvania. And she, you know, really came from, you know, financial straits. You know, she wasn't like a privileged person, you know, that a lot of these Ivy Leaguers tend to be. So clearly, you know, she worked her ass off and she did really well. But if you want to know her full story, you should go check her channel out. She tells you why she does what she does and how she got there. And, you know, she's been able to help people. Britney Spears, Bam Margera. And lately she's been following, she really just calls out stuff that she notices as a problem. And, you know, a lot of us will see it, but we don't really do anything about it. And because she's smart as a whip and has legal training, she's able to maneuver a lot of things in the right direction to help victims. So the whole reason I wanted to do this live tonight is because I've been watching her the past couple of days. And she follows a show called Soft White Underbelly. You guys may have all seen this person. He's basically a guy who's a photographer who decided to start interviewing people on the street, whether they were drug addicted. Turns out lately he interviews a lot of people who are prostituting themselves in Los Angeles. There's a certain area apparently in Los Angeles on Figueroa. I don't know LA at all, but apparently that area has a lot of child sex trafficking and just a lot of bad stuff happening, right? And you know, we hear about this stuff, but when you see it in your face, it's you can't ignore it, you know, and that's the thing, right? I've heard about it. I've heard about it, you know, it's like you know it exists, right? And you see people get arrested for these things and all this other stuff. But when it's like right in your face, like when an image of child abuse material shows up in your feed somehow, or it's some kind of weird advertisement, which I've told you guys about. Look at some of these weird advertisements that catch your attention. Look at them and see what, if you didn't know what it was advertising, what does it look like? I'm telling you, I think a lot of traffickers pay for ads on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else. It's disgusting. But anyway, back to this show. So, when you're going to go in and interview, say, a young kid who is being sexually abused and is now being sex trafficked, okay? I think it's great if you're going to do this, but not the kid though. I think adults are good, but I think kids, I don't see how it's cool or okay with anybody for an adult man to interview a child who is being prostituted, which is abuse, because children cannot consent to sexual acts, and nobody's going to change my mind on that. Children do not consent to prostitution. A child prostitute is an oxymoron. The fuck does that? A child who sells their body for sex? No, that's a child slave. It's a child who's being abused. And if you see it or you know about it, you have to speak up on it. That's my opinion. That's the prize witness's opinion. And she's asked all of her, she calls them cousins. We can call them, I can call her my cousine. But regardless, she wants us all to recognize this shit, because apparently one of the young women that this man interviewed on Soft White Underbelly, who was at the time 13, whose name is Nova, is not doing well. And, that surprise witness has kind of followed what's been happening with her. And, apparently last year, I think, I don't know the full story. And I think it's important, to go and watch the videos. I've watched a lot of them, but it's led to a point now where this child's sexual material is online and being advertised for sale by an account that is alleged to be hers. This is a 15-year-old child. Okay. And, I don't know if you've ever seen this come across your Twitter feed, but I have. And I don't know why. But I'll get weird ass bots friending me. And when I click on their profile, oh Lord, I wish I never did, because when I click on their profile, it's some it looks like some kind of sex worker type thing. And I always report it as harassment. And then if anybody looks under 18, I report it as, child material. I don't want to see that shit. It makes me sick and disgusted. I've never known for a fact. You can see it's not like stuff you search out. It's somehow it just shows up one day or whatever. Okay. Well, that's what happened with her. And she saw this and it traumatized her. And so she decided to report it. She reported it to the FBI. She reported it to Missing Children's America. There's a hotline, which I've called them before too. That's not the name of it, but it's for missing and exploited children hotline. She called them, but she still felt really sick about it. So she called the Los Angeles Police Department, and this is what happened. So yeah, they are trying to normalize it. No, not at all. Never, girl. Never. That's why I said that phrase, love is love, to be careful with that. People use that phrase, and I'm like, yo, don't use the phrase, love is love. Look at the origins of that phrase. I'm all about love is love with consenting adults. Any size, color, shape, gender, whatever. That's up to a person. But children are not included in that equation. And that's what they do. You know what I mean? So it's disgusting. But anyway, this woman here, True Killer, if you don't follow her, you're going to love her. She's a warrior for good and truth. And she fights for people that can't fight for themselves. And so I just wanted to do a little video showing how she tried to take care of this. And then I'm going to tell you something I found out after that we can all do if we want to. All right, so let's just do this.
Police Department, operator 716.
Hi.
Hello?
Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yeah, Gary, what's going on?
Okay, so I don't even exactly know where to start. I'm so sorry. I'll lead with what I think is the most important. There's child on the internet. I've reported it and it's not being taken down. There's 3 videos I reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and then another one has been posted. And the child is in LA, from what I understand. I am not. So I didn't want to call 911 because I'm in New Jersey. Just full disclosure, I don't live over there, but there's child on the internet. It's been there since September. I'm very shaken up about it. I've reported it to the FBI. I've reported it to Twitter. It's up on there, and it's not just pornography. It's being sold.
You said you're in New Jersey?
Yeah, but the is online.
Got it, but you need to talk to your local police department for that.
The victim is in your jurisdiction. For sure.
You're reporting it in New Jersey, so he reports your jurisdiction.
The New Jersey cops are going to drive to California to protect this child. Any enforcement action will be done on that account, which is a California account.
Do you know this person?
She's famous. She's a famous child. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children already had files on her. This is still up public on Twitter.
Oh, I just have to pause this. P.S. By the way, my title on this was no slight or shade toward that surprise witness. That's what they're calling this girl, right? They're calling this young child, 15-year-old child, the most, quote, famous prostitute. Like, that's what they're selling her as, okay? And it's disgusting, okay? So that's why I'm doing this video. And, I don't want to hear about people saying, oh, well, she's real fast, or she's a smart aleck, or, she's defiant, or she's oppositional. I don't care. I don't care. She's under 18 years old. She is every mother's responsibility in this. That's just the way I feel. And father too. She's under 18. Okay. 15-year-old children who have been raised in a safe, loving environment are not on the street being prostituted, which is abuse. She may look happy and act like she's okay. She's not. She's still a child inside. She's just fronting because she's scared to death. And we're going to watch. We can't just watch that. Oh, hell no. That's why that's the prize witness was so upset. And I got upset too with this shit.
Okay, then you can report it to your local police department.
The New Jersey cops don't have jurisdiction over this child or her account, which was made in California. They can't do anything.
That's the FBI, man. The FBI handles computer crimes. We as a LAPD don't.
What?
We don't handle computer crimes.
So you don't take action against child at the LAPD?
I love that. I love her response. She's so good with her shit. She's just like, oh, so you don't take action against child, pornography? I love it.
Not for this call, no.
No, not for this call.
761 is your number?
Yes, operator 716.
716. And what's your name?
We don't give names.
You don't give names, and you don't protect children?
You tell him, girl.
This is reported to the FBI.
Okay, she wrote, excuse me, who the fuck are you? Because this lady comes up in here. She says Karen mode activated. I love this shit.
Yeah, as the LAPD does not respond out for computer crimes.
Who are you? I'm not talking to, who are you? What's your operator number, please?
407.
So y'all are, just to let me get this straight, y'all are chastising me for calling to report child, which I have reported, of a child who is a victim in your jurisdiction, and you are bitching at me? Got it. I'll report this. I will report this publicly, and I'm going to add your... Bitch, get loud with me, stupid fucking...
I love it. I love it, guys. I heard they were looking for me. Here I go. She's pissed. I don't blame her. Because look, we've all come across something like this, right? You know, like something that is just so you're just so disgusted by. Okay? And then you try to do something about it, and it's like, wait, what? Why is this so hard? Like when you come across child pornography, why is it so hard to get it removed from something like Twitter? Why is that so hard? Or even YouTube. Remember, YouTube used to be like a breeding ground for child grooming. And then, okay, and then they got like a bunch of shit came out. And remember, like this was before, way before I even watched a lot of YouTube. I just remember this happening. It like all boiled up because all these weird ass families were on here pimping out their kids, putting them in weird, they're sexualizing children. It's disgusting. Okay. And some of these families are generational. All right. So they want to spread their sickness to our kids who know that that's not natural. Okay. So you got to, but anyway, they got called out finally. Eventually they got called out. It took years though. And then they stopped doing it. Well, on Twitter, it's still there. It's still there. It's ridiculous. You know? Yep, exactly. Put a review. But I'm telling you, I even report ads. I shit you not. The next time I'm going to try to find some of the ads I've reported because of it's just, you can tell it's symbolic of something else. And I believe it's sex trafficking or whatever, but it's not selling a lottery ticket or a book or whatever you're saying you're selling because, you know, it's weird. But anyway, let's get back to our sis here. Here I go. One more time. I think we need to play that last part one more time. Just, I know y'all's blood was starting to boil up. I know y'all were like, why she thinks she's getting loud. I know I hung up for the collective 500 of us in here right now. That's right. So let's just one more time. She thought she was going to get, who the fuck are you? Before you say one more syllable, ma'am, badge number. What's you, public servant who works for me? Shit, I love this shit. Click. And I will be reporting this to the public, which I'm doing now. Operator 407, what? Nobody even freaking talking to you, bitch. Not a single soul. But now, I am. We don't give names. Okay. All right. We don't give names. Let's Karen mode activated. 716.
And then you can report it to your local police department.
The New Jersey cops don't have jurisdiction over this child or her account, which was made in California. They can't do anything. Oh, whoops. This is a commercial. Hold on one second.
Guns out of kids' hands.
And there's a new way to do it developed by a Spokane Valley man. Well, Dylan Irvin.
That's the FBI, man. The FBI handles computer crimes. We as a LAPD don't.
What?
We don't handle computer crimes.
So you don't take action against child at the LAPD?
Not for this call, no.
Not for you. 761 is your number?
Yes, operator 716.
716. And what's your name?
We don't give names.
You don't give names and you don't protect children.
I fucking love this
Ma'am,
shit.
this is reported to the FBI. If the LAPD does not
Who is
respond
this?
out for computer crimes,
Who yanked her?
I love this. Because this is exactly the shit I do. When I'm on the phone like that, if somebody came out of nowhere and said something, I would say the same. I'd be like, excuse me, who are you? I wasn't aware this was a party line. You know, this chick is the best.
Her chain? Who yanked? It wasn't me. I didn't go send for her. I didn't send for her. I can tell you I didn't send. So I don't know why dispatcher 716 couldn't handle his own shit like a man. I don't know why this handler bitch had to come on the child. You know what report I was making? Why this Lou Taylor sounding ass lady needed to pipe into my conversation. Operator dispatcher 407. I don't know what y'all's tax dollars are going to over there in California, but I can promise you it's not going to protecting children. You can put that one on my gravestone. You can put it on the gravestone. I don't even gamble and I'll give you every dollar I have. Show me where they protected a child. Even if y'all listen, even if this isn't the correct bureaucratical point on the bureaucratical web to go to, I'm reporting something pretty serious. He didn't even want to know her freaking name. He didn't even want to hear it. He didn't even let me finish what I was saying.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with this kind of stuff is when you call, right? When you call to report shit like this, it's like hot potato, like, oh, it's a computer crime. Oh, that's not my jurisdiction. I can't call somebody else, you know? And while that may be the case, right? While it may in fact be the case that she needs to call someone else, it's a shame that we live in a society where someone is calling to report something that is fucking horrific and heartbreaking. Okay. And these operators are so desensitized to what the person is reporting, which is a child being sexually abused and having this stuff sold online on a social media account, that she's reported and requested it be taken down. And they haven't taken it down yet. And it's been like 2 days and actually, in fact, created more accounts with more of this CSAM material. This is why she's so upset, right? So like you let Twitter know, or you let YouTube or wherever this stuff is, okay, know, and yet it's still there. I don't understand. Why is it? And she brings this up, and it's kind of like, why is it that you can, if I put like a Taylor Swift lyric somewhere, or I say it even, apparently I'll get copyright struck immediately, but child sexual abuse material for sale can just stay up for days on this shit. And that's tough. I mean, fuck you, right? Like, fuck you. Sorry. I'm just so irritated by this shit. And I asked Grok about it because I'm pissed. I'm like, yo, Grok, because you act like, you know, Elon Musk wants to act like, you know, he's doing all this great shit. Well, you can do everything in the world, but if you're not protecting kids, or if you're actually, worse yet, maybe being complicit in the abuse of children, well, that takes away every fucking good deed you've ever done. You see? So this is a priority for our society, to protect kids. This cannot become a norm. It cannot be normalized. This is not normalized. A 15-year-old child saying she's grown, we don't give up on. We don't give up on and say, she's fast. That's just the way she is. Oh, that's just genetic, which is what I allegedly read her mother might have said. Because she related to something about her father being stubborn. Regardless, people say awful things about these children. And I just wonder, do you remember that they're children? They're children. And nowadays, kids 18 aren't the same as kids 18 used to be. I feel like we've maybe babied a lot of the children. It's not the same as it used to be, but 18, man, like it's under 18, people got to stop. You know? All right, so let's listen to some more here.
Was trying to say, not only is it up for everyone to see, they're selling it. He could have took a little note on a post-it. He could have just shut the hell up. He could have kept his freaking pie hole closed. He could have just sat there, sitting on his damn hands, or doing whatever in the hell he was doing with them before I called. He could have just sat there. But no, he had to interrupt. Imagine interrupting somebody's trying to call and report that type of crime. Whoa. The whole entire city needs to get Thanos'd. Okay? Y'all got to get out of there, cousins. Y'all got to get out. It's a war zone.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all got to get out of there.
But she's right, though. She's not even, she might be being like facetious, but I don't even think she is. I think she realizes it is a war zone. If you live in California, that is how they deal with child abuse in California. They have promoted that shit for a long time throughout Hollywood, as we're now seeing. All the child actors and actresses, all born into these types of families, and all ritually abused. They end up, look at how they all end up. It's look at their actions and the fruit of their actions. You know, you think like these people aren't well adjusted when they get older. It's a shame. It's heartbreaking. I mean, I've watched so many of them die over the years. You feel like they were friends of yours because you grew up watching them. They were your age and you looked up to them and they were on TV. 8 is Enough, or, you know, like I said, Different Strokes. I love those guys. I didn't like the dad so much, or the sister. I don't remember her name, but those two I loved. Thanks, True Killer. Yeah, well, I was inspired by this woman here, that surprise witness, who, like I said, is she's a warrior. Hi, Wellington. Hello, Wellington. Thanks for being a member. I appreciate you being here. All right, so let's see.
I'm getting ready to go with my girlfriends really quick. We're going to dinner. I'm at that age where I can't read the menu anymore. So I'm wearing glasses and I have this theory.
And I was going to play a whole little clip and everything about how like racial disparities are, and like how, you know, Black children and women account for like such a higher percentage of victims of this type of stuff. But then I thought about it and it's like, no, hold on. No, that's how this mother was talking to me. I don't think he thought I was Black. Maybe he did. Maybe he heard y'all and he thought everybody says y'all is Black. I think I got Karen treatment. I think I got white lady treatment. That's how they talking to the white ladies. Okay. So when I tell y'all that I'm never really having that great of interactions with the cops either, this is what I mean. I don't get any, y'all think that was special treatment? I got double freaking teamed. Some random nameless God knows who jumped out of the freaking bushes trying to holler at him. Hold on. Before you take another freaking half a breath, lady, who are you? Who are you?
She cracks me up. She is on fire about this shit, right? She's on fire about it. But yeah, I mean, essentially all this came down to the fact, like I said, is she has been following this young woman since she first saw her interviewed on Soft White Underbelly. Okay. Soft White Underbelly is a channel that has this guy who goes out and he interviews people that are in dire straits. Hi, Kat. I meant to say that too. I'm sorry, anybody. I didn't. Hi, Kat. Thanks for being here, everybody. So essentially this is what soft white underbelly does. You guys might have seen some of these things. I've seen some of them over the years. I've seen other people's, not soft white underbelly, but she has followed this person in particular because one of the young women that was interviewed on soft white underbelly was also had a history of addiction and abuse, and she ended up dying. And BJ did a lot of investigative work on that story and uncovered some things that are potentially very troubling. She's unfortunately facing a lawsuit over that because these people are powerful. You know, these people that push these types of agendas, you know, and they don't want people to be awake to what they're doing. They really don't. And so when people start to point it out, people who are really bright and perceptive, right? Then, you know, they get upset and they try to sue you. They try to bankrupt you. That's what they did to Kanye. Kanye knows it the most. Candace might start finding out. Candace Owens, right? Yes, that's his name. Exactly. 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 Because, you know, when you're one of the young, so the young girl Nova, right? The young girl Nova that we're talking about, she's 15. She's a child. Okay. Child, 15 years old. Okay. Mark Leda. That's his name. Mark Leda. Yep. You know, he wrote this book. He wrote this book called Created Equal or something. I was trying to look it up. Because it's a hardback and it's rare, apparently it's like almost $1,000. I'm like, that's weird. I couldn't look inside of it. I was curious if there were photos of children because, you know, sometimes these people do it as quote artwork. It's never artwork. It's foul. It's abuse. It's disgusting. Stop it. Never normalize it ever. Okay, so anybody who does that they've completely lost their angel side. They've just gone to the reptiles. They've just fucking decided to stay in the abyss of hell, the pit of hell. Anybody who's doing this shit with kids. Okay? There's no help. There's no help for someone like that. I'm sorry. There just isn't. And I'll never accept it. It's not normal. And I do believe, yes, there a lot of them, they're elites and it's generational. And you know, if you don't believe it, you can find testimony of this stuff all over the internet now. I mean, honestly, a lot of this shit they are not censoring. They're still censoring a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff they aren't. They're just anything you want to look, you can find this shit. It's anywhere you want to look. People's real testimony. And you can judge if they're telling the truth or not. Can't you tell when someone's talking if you feel like they're being honest or they're putting on a show? Now, sometimes they might say something that sounds so fantastical that you're like, that can't be true. But then when you hear other people saying the same thing, it really is that bad. This shit is real. And it can never be normalized or crept into society or looked at like it's okay. None of it's normal. No. Yeah, it's just not. It's not. There's nothing normal about it. Period. Full stop. Leave the kids alone, you freaking perverts. Okay? Stop it. It makes me physically ill to think about predators with children. It makes me, the way that they steal innocence and then perpetuate this. So just be very alert to this shit in your own life. These people are around us. Okay? And they may be posing as a normal person. Be careful who you let your kids around. Yeah, I just, you know what though? I try to live in positivity. So I'm not here trying to bring people down and saying the world's a dark, evil place, which obviously a large part of it can be. But you can also choose to live in the light. Your individual path is your own. We each have our own individual path. The collective is in a dark place right now. Clearly, the collective is in a dark place right now. When we have people cheering, people getting shot on television, and regardless of who that person is, it's what kind of society are we in right now? It's not a healthy one. But that doesn't mean that your own personal path can't be healthy, and you can't do things. And part of that is speaking up. Like when you see something, you've got to talk about it and say it. I don't have a huge following, but my small following, I appreciate. I love every single one of you guys coming in here, talking with me about this stuff. You guys know I accept, differing opinions. I'm okay with all of that. But BJ a couple times asked for anybody who's a creator to just give a shout out about this, just to spread a little awareness about this, because it's full on disgusting. Okay. And it's happening right on socials, and the socials. So I asked Rock, that's what I meant to say. Sorry. I did. I asked Rock a couple things I want to tell you about that I thought was cool. All right. So let's see where. Okay, so this is what I asked Grok because I was pissed. I said, this X post by blank, I'm not going to say what her name is because I don't want to direct people to this thing, But I said, features. Oh, no, this is what Grok told me about it, that it featured a 56-second screen recording and that it was explicit and it was from early 2025. And there's payment requests. And it says the videos are for sale, and it's got modest engagement. And I was pissed off, so I wrote, this is a child who's known to be 15 years old. She is dubbed the, quote, most famous child prostitute. If X can detect Taylor Swift copyright takedowns, if someone simply reads her lyrics, why isn't there technology able to detect child pornography? So X says, your concern raises a critical and complex issue about the capabilities and priorities of content, blah, 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 blah. The context of the post, because it's including, it's CSAM for sale, okay, on their site, which I reported and she reported, okay? And it's still up there. And it's saying, oh, well, the fact that this is a 15-year-old classifies this as child pornography. No shit, Grok. No shit. So can you take it down? I just told you that. You're the best AI ever. Can you maybe analyze it and take it down, asshole? I don't understand. They want to send spaceships to the fucking moon, and we got kids down here being tortured and sold. And adults just playing right in our fucking faces about it. This is outrageous. It pisses me off. I don't even like going on that platform as it is, to be honest. I have an account. It's verified. It's small. It's post-woke world. But it's a cesspool of demons and demonic shit. But the fact that you can't reach anybody, you can't call a number and say, hey, you got something really fucked up on your social media right here. Do you realize there's a child selling explicit material? Do you maybe want to take that shit down and talk to the FBI and maybe work with them to figure out where this child might be located? Or are you just not giving zero fucks about it anymore? You're just done pretending like you care about kids. Is that where we're at as a society? It's not where I'm at. It's not where she's at. And I hope it's not where anybody else is in this chat. Not happening. It's disgusting. Immoral. And again, 15 years old. Look, I remember I was an asshole when I was 15 years old. Okay. I thought I knew everything. I probably was oppositional defiant. I don't know. I mean, I was an asshole. Okay. Truly an asshole. And nobody could tell me nothing. So does that mean if I ended up on the streets, somehow made a left turn the wrong way, somehow ended up on the streets, and then a pimp came along and told me I needed to start doing this, would you give up on me? Would you give up on any child because of something that comes out of their mouth when you see the hurt behind their eyes? No, you don't give up. You can't give up on kids. You can't say, oh, that's okay. They're grown. Fuck that. Fuck that. Sorry, I'm dropping a lot of F-bombs. I'm trying to not curse so much.
I saw my cousin Stino in here. I was just watching his reaction. Are you going to clip that part? If not, I'm going to just share your live. He reacted. There you go. Hold on. Shoot. He, see? Somebody tell P. Diddy I'm in the community now. Y'all, my grandpa, he had like, he's white, obviously, and he has these like Navy buddies from the Navy or whatever, and he used to call them, and they were in Ohio. When you have to call him house phone, he would call his Navy buddy's house phone in Ohio. And he'd be like, it's Jerome. That was my papa's, and that is his name. And there was like more racism back then. And then the parents would be like, I think your black friend's on the phone, my papa. He's my caller. So I don't know. Listen, I don't know if it's like the way we talk in Louisiana or something. I do not know. He must. I don't think he did. You know what, Tufstino? I mean, as much as I want to be welcome into the community and all that would be great. You're going to clip it. Okay, cool.
I love that. And then I'm going to just take this down for a minute, and then I'm going to show you one other thing. But I also like her because she said something else. She said that where she grew up, that there was a lot of diversity. And then she backtracked and said, actually, there wasn't. There was only like, I think she said like 20% white people or 30% white people. And the rest were black people where she went to school. And she said when she grew up, it wasn't about like race lines and stuff, and that everybody kind of knew how to get along. Like the culture was the culture, And that's where I'm coming from, because that's where I was when I was growing up. Like that's how I was when I went to school. The same thing. Like we didn't have this separate culture where it was like, oh, that's black culture. It's a black thing you wouldn't understand or whatever. Like that kind of stuff, It wasn't like that. Like we all got along. We all understood each other. We were all the same culture. I mean, there's always going to be people that don't like each other, but it was never based on racial lines. There was no racial tensions when I was growing up. I'm not saying, oh, that means racism was gone. Everything's perfect. Obviously not. Like, please, don't mistake me. But I'm just saying, like, back then it was different, And so I don't like it when, like, I feel like on YouTube, there's black YouTube and white YouTube. And I want to try to make it more of a culture of like the same values and things that we're, we want to talk about and learn about and stuff, not about somebody's skin color. You know what I mean? Because that's not how I grew up. And I don't like the divide at all. It makes me sad. Actually, I could cry about it. I don't want to cry about it, but it bothers me a lot because, like, I've seen, just on a personal basis, it bothers me a lot too. So I don't want to, focus on that too much. Anyway, thank you. Thanks. So I just want to say one thing here though. Also, I ripped Grok apart. Like I chewed Grok apart and I was like, that's bullshit. And it said, it gave a bunch of excuses, but at the end of the day, like it said it's a major problem and they need to do something about it. I don't want to read all their bullshit excuses right now. I just want to let you know that I let Grok know it was a problem and I pointed it to that specific post. And again, I'm not mentioning it for a reason because I don't want to direct people to it. Okay. Suffice to say, it's there. And I just wanted to share one other thing that I thought was really important. Hold on one second. And if my cousine, that surprise witness, sees this, I want her to know about this. because I'm actually going to call too. I'm going to call this. Hold on for 1 minute. Let me find out. Hold on. This is where you realize that maybe all hope is not gone. It's like one of those things. Hold on 1 second. I found this here. Let me put myself down here. Oh no, don't be sorry about typos, girl. That is the last thing I'm even paying attention to. Yes, exactly. I want to talk about it because I don't want people, right? Yeah, exactly. That's how you grew up, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Like all mixed together. I went to parties, they would call me their homie, and I went to the parties. Like black people invited me to their parties. I invited them to my parties, and we were all different colors at parties. Like that's that was a thing, and like and I still know those people. I mean, I still, I'm friends with them on Facebook and stuff, and at the reunion, obviously. I mean, love these people. They're part of my family. That's how it feels when you go to high school and grow up with people like that, all in the same neighborhood and stuff. Feels good. We have to remember that culture of, you know, not judging based on skin color first and assuming all these things about someone because they're white or black. But this right here, I love this. So it's called childrenofthenight.org. And this is so great because it has a 24/7 hotline, 1-800-551-1300. And let's say what are they about? Okay. Let's just look and see what they're about. Our mission, Children of the Night, is a privately funded nonprofit organization established in 1979 with specific purpose to provide intervention in the lives of children who are sexually exploited and vulnerable to or involved in prostitution and pornography. 2025 marks Children of the Night's 46th anniversary of rescuing Americans' children from prostitution right here in the United States. They've rescued over 17,000 American children from sex trafficking, and it's the only place in America where a child can call from a seedy motel or truck stop anywhere in the United States, reach a skilled caseworker 24/7 who knows how to rescue and relocate a child or a young person from a dangerous condition. Wow. Did you guys know this existed? That surprise witness. Kuzine, you got to check this out, okay? Look. Over 24/7, over our 24/7 nationwide toll-free case management services are comprehensive and able to help anyone trapped on the streets of our nation. So that's their mission. There's their number. Okay, then we have our founder. You get to see who this lady is. Her name is Dr. Lois Lee. She has a PhD in sociology and anthropology and a Juris Doctor in law. So that's cool because we know that that's the prize witness also is an attorney. So this is so cool. I really hope she sees this video because I think she, I do have to say, unfortunately, this is a disclaimer, okay? A lot of times we've seen where these places that are supposed to be helping people are actually exploiting them. Remember, we live in the upside down. Okay. We're in the inverted flipped, we're like upside down and flipped. Okay. So when it says that it's existing to help child traffic kids, you find out actually what that means in the satanic realm is we traffic children, right? I am not alleging that whatsoever. I believe that this is actually, it looks really good. Okay. And I believe they help people 100%. I'm not saying that about this at all. It's just my nature to always bring this stuff up, which means I haven't vetted these people. That's all I mean. But I do believe that it's something to really look at and look into. And changing social conditions for the less fortunate is difficult and during hard times. I always think of Helen Keller, who said, hold your head high and look the world in the eye. Look at her. She's been doing this for a long time. A 70 to 80% success rate with her life-changing work, mobilizing children from prostitution to a successful adult life. Well, this is great. This is really great. So I'm hoping that this is something that, now let's see. Our team. Sonia Ventura. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Chairman Michelle Martin. Okay, we don't have any like weirdos over here on the board. So I mean, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so this is a number. And if you spot a child, you know a child, or you see a child that you think is in distress or is asking for help. If you guys watch, oh my God, what's her name? Grizzly. She's always talking about this, the DV. Like, it's funny. I saw a video on that. I've never seen anybody do that. I don't know how much that happens, but that's a really good number to know and thing to know about, because I do think this is helpful. I'm going to look more into it. And hey guys. Oh, Bubbly's in the chat. Bubbly, where are you? Please post it and I'll share. Listening but can't comment. Thought this needed to be shared. Love you. Oh, that's nice. Yes, I definitely will. Thank you, Bubbly. I appreciate it. I'm urban native in Canada as a First Nation. There's no heritage or culture of my generation. Thanks, history. But that doesn't define me. I'm a mix of all race by culture. Yes, love that. Love that. Yeah, I'm not like a people. This is actually considered racist, I guess now, if you say that like race is a construct and it's not real, because like I don't even like archaeologists will even tell you like bones are bones. You can't tell if they're white bones or brown bones, you know. And so, you know, while there may be differences between like an Asian population, an African population, a Brazilian population, a Caucasian population, you know, there may be differences in bone density and muscle mass, in, you know, certain diseases and things. That doesn't make us different races. That's the way I feel. People hate when I say that. Like, some people think that's racist. And like, here's my thing. And I don't know, like, this is honestly how I see things. Like, when I see a person, I notice their aura first. I'm noticing their energy. I'm not noticing their color. Like, I'm not saying that it's not important. Like, obviously color is important to an extent, like to some people, very important. But to me, like, I'm noticing like their energy, their vibration, like, you know, and that's it. And that could be any color, you know? So I don't know if that makes sense, guys. Anyway. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Not their color though. Like, I shouldn't say aura. It's not the right one. Yeah, it's like an energy, right? Like, I'm obviously looking at a person. If somebody were to ask me like, "Oh, what color are they or what race do you think they are?" Even though I don't really like to say race. Like, I've never listed my race ever anywhere. When they ask like on those forms, where it says like what's your race. I've never done it since I was a kid. I never put it there because I understand why they do it. It's for statistics and things like that, but I'm not putting it on there. Like I'm not doing it. I don't. That's just, I guess, a personal belief. So yeah, I know aura. Some people can see colors, meaning aura, like, people have different shades. And I met people like that can see auras. But it's more of I guess it's a vibration or a feeling, I guess, even though I recognize it's a man, it's a woman, it's a Latina, whatever. You know what I'm saying, guys? Vibes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and what's funny is I told you guys I did my DNA, and like it says like for my like one of my genetic markers, it says like I have very high likelihood of being melanated, like being a brown person. It's what my genetic marker shows, but I don't, I'm like probably a Fitzpatrick like 2 or 3. I mean, I don't usually burn, but I'm clearly Caucasian, like white, but obviously in my lineage somewhere, So no, in recent history, but it's in my lineage clearly. Because mine's mostly like I'm mostly Eastern Europe, Western Europe, like it's Ukrainian, German, and then it starts getting broken down. Italian, obviously Italiano. And then it gets broken down like a little bit of English, a little bit of Irish. And there was some place in the Middle East too. I had like 1 or 2% in the Middle East. I have to look it up again. I forget. But anyway. And yes, True Killer is a very special person. I agree. I agree. Yeah, Jewish is not a race. And in fact, a lot of Jews don't consider it a race and they get pissed off when you call it a race. And it's a religion, it's a culture, but it's not a race. That's what that's the whole Israel discussion stuff, which I don't want to get into right now. But hey, guys, I just want to let you guys know. I will post these 2 links underneath here, and you should definitely check out That Surprise Witness because she's amazing and hilarious. And I really appreciate you guys listening to this. I think it's an important topic. I think if you see anything, you should always report it. And I think it's outrageous that this shit goes on. But there's so much going on. I know the world's falling apart, it feels like. But like this is something you can never just let slide. Just you cannot not abuse children. So all right, guys, love you. That's what's up. And talk to y'all soon.